going to the Olympics? What are your thoughts on such a big tournament?
Yeah, we did step one of this tournament, what we needed to do. I was saying that's the most stressful game in a 4-year cycle because it's one-off, anything can happen, no safety net. But today I think was the least stressed I've ever been going into this game. I thought we would get the result, and it felt pretty calm out there, and it felt controlled, which is hard to do in a game like that.
You were saying earlier in the week you've seen a few tricks up pristine sleeves in practice. What about those 2 goals that were fantastic?
Yeah, they were pretty good. Probably not the best we've seen all week. We saw some nicer ones in training, to be honest. But the one over the head was fantastic.
If this next game here goes according to plan, you play the U.S. on Sunday. You've been a part of games with the U.S. before. How different is playing the U.S. versus playing any other of the opponents that you face?
They're always a benchmark, obviously, #1 team in the world right now, so it's a great measuring stick to put us up against. And we know we want to come into this tournament to win it, not just qualify, but there's a final where we want to compete for.
Does the fact that they won the World Cup on Canadian soil add a little extra fuel to the fire going into that game?
No, I think playing any World Cup champion at the time adds enough ante in there.
Going into this match, there was the thought that Costa Rica would give you guys the toughest challenge you've faced so far in the tournament. How do you think they played out going up against your defense?
Yeah, they were the toughest team we played for sure. I think they had a tough group and some tough games that kind of maybe took it out of them a little bit. But they're a great team. They have a great coach, and I think they've got better every year. In 4 years, they're going to be another challenge.
I know it's early, but how would you compare this squad to the one 4 years ago in London?
I mean, just this qualifying to last qualifying, we're a much better team, I think. Just our ability technically and tactically, and the ability we have to control the game more, I think. We didn't have that 4 years ago. I think we've got a lot more formations we can play, we've got more technicians on the ball. So it's exciting, I think. I think 4 years ago we weren't that controlled against a opponent like Mexico or Costa Rica.
I want to show respect to Trinidad and Tobago, but could you go into a little more detail about what this rivalry means to Canadian players if you get a chance to play the U.S. on Sunday, especially in a game of significance like this?
Yeah, the U.S. is always a game that, people get up for it. Canadians get up for it. Any sport, men or women, Canada versus the U.S. is exciting, and I think it adds even more fuel to the fire because they're the #1 team in the world and current World Cup champs.
And a bit of bragging rights for you and your Washington Spirit teammates when you get back there in a few weeks?
Yeah, for sure. It's always in it. There's teammates for everyone out there.
I've been told, maybe you can correct me here, that John has occasionally used them as maybe a source of motivation or fire, having that powerhouse to the south. And I know there's so much interweaving between the two countries and the two soccer scenes. Is there an edge? Maybe you call it a derby. Is there more to this game than just two good teams playing?
Yeah, I think, like I said, any sport, anytime, Canada-US is a little bit different. And John understands Canadians pretty well, and he understands that.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, guys.